Alrighty.
Yeah, man.
Next one. What's your policy on alcohol?
What do you think,
As far
Macario?
as what? As far as should you drink it or not, or like what do you mean? Just anything?
Yeah, that is a bit vague.
What you said?
So for in terms of when guys go out at night to nightclubs or to bars on dates, so we can split this into a few categories. You can use
Right.
alcohol on dates. You can use alcohol when you go out at
Yeah.
night meeting people. You can use alcohol just as an alcoholic, just for any fucking reason. So what's your
Right.
personal how do you use alcohol yourself personally, and how do you um advise others to do so in an environment like nightlife, for example, go into a nightclub?
Yeah. I mean, I would say this is that as long as you know how to use alcohol responsibly, and you're not using alcohol as any type of crutch or any type of way to try to make things easier for you in that environment. So meaning like, so sometimes what guys will do is like, when they say the liquid courage thing, is like, well, let me drink, get drunk, get loose, and then I'll go approach women or talk to women, stuff like that. I don't agree with that, because then what happens is you're using that as a crutch. And the reason why you're drinking is because you have a fear of just being sober and talking to women. Also, I don't agree with guys using alcohol to try to loosen women up, because you want the woman that you're talking to and interacting with is as sober as possible. So even if you're on a date, you can get like maybe a drink, two max, but make sure y'all are both, what I'm saying, not drunk or whatever, and then that's cool. So as long as it's not used in a way to like cope with your fear, and as long as it's not used in a way to try to coerce anyone, then I feel it's fine. You know what I mean? As long as you can hold your liquor and you enjoy, because I like to drink sometimes. So I go out, I get a drink, and everything's cool. But it's like I know my limits, so I'm not going to be stumbling, drunk, or going crazy and all that other stuff. So as long as you do it in moderation and you're not trying to do it for any nefarious reasons, then I think it's cool. I think it's good.
We have a pretty strict rule in MOA. Men do not pour women's drinks. So and wherever in a social situation, this is to protect men. A couple things we have rules on. Number one, there's always cameras in my apartment. This is
Mhm.
something you guys have all been to parties before, college or whatever, where there was a girl who clearly nobody drugged, but she tells everyone she was drugged because she fucking drank too much. And so one
Mhm.
of the ways we got away from that, to make sure that never happens, is we always have cameras on in the house. Number one. And number two, men never pour women's drinks. We will hire a female bartender, or we'll have a girl who pours women's drinks. We never have men do it. That's been an issue. It's just a function of protecting yourself. That's one of the main things I've said with the alcohol is concerned. For me, I don't drink at all. So when I go out in these social situations, I'm often asked to drink. And it's one of these things where it's a very slippery slope, because I know for some women, whenever I talk to like really attractive women, I was like, the first time you had sex with a guy, were you high or drunk? And about 85% of the time they say they were high or drunk.
Mhm.
And when the first time, not every time, but the first time. And so you understand with some women, and again, this is a slippery slope. This is a touchy subject. With some women, part of their own internal seduction process is they go out and get fucked up and go meet a dude and go hook up with dudes.
Right.
If women want to drink, my whole thing is I would never want to ask a woman to drink, to get drunk, to go to try to have fun with her. But I will let her drink if she wants to drink. I'll let her drink whatever she wants, up to a certain point. I'm not going to like more than like four shots in an hour is way too fucking too much. The women
Mhm.
are with tiny women, sitting there trying to drink that much. I've seen it before, and they just get absolutely hammered. But one of the things that's very different is for men, we have social anxiety. What is it? Women have last minute resistance and men have first minute resistance, right? So men will have approach anxiety because their ancestors, if they screwed up and actually, made a bad impression on the other women in their tribe, they were never going to have sex with anyone. They were going to die a virgin, right? And we see that if we look at the Y chromosome spread throughout history, it's something like 40% of men and 80% of women have had sex throughout history. Like over half of men died virgins. A lot of people don't realize this, especially when you come to the realization half the Earth's population died before the age of 5. Before the year 1850, half the Earth's population died before the age of 5. So it was like crazy numbers like that. So when it comes to that, when you have that realization, that's why men need that liquid courage in order to go up and try to talk to women. Women, on the other hand, don't have that same issue. They have an issue with like last minute resistance, where every time they have a new penis go inside of them, there's a feeling of anxiety initially. And I've talked to a lot of girls, and they're like, well, that first time I do it, they end up being drunk. This is not all women, obviously. It's not all women, but you'll notice this a lot of times with women who are like in party scenes that go out a lot, or women that are going through a phase when they're drinking. So it becomes a very complicated subject.